can honestly say that they have practiced every time I've sent them up there. And I know you haven't, because when I go up there, you're either staring at a fire, or you're staring into space, or trying to avoid doing something. The only person that is going to light a fire on the day that you need a fire lit for real is you. And if you can't do it, you will suffer or you will die. It is as hard and simple as that. I know it sounds really extreme, but that is it. Now this is the biggest tangible skill I can give you on this 20 course, is to light a fire. Alright? Because you're now going to go up there and light a fire for your dinner. More importantly, tomorrow morning you've got to light a fire without any of this stuff. So tonight, when you are sitting there with your stew on the go, you need to practice, practice, practice. You need to make sure that tonight you've done all your preparations so that you've got everything you need for lighting a fire tomorrow morning. Not just one fire, a minimum of 2, probably 3 fires. Because what some of you do is you bring down nearly enough, you burn it in some sort of half-baked attempt that doesn't work, and then you haven't got anything to replace it with. You put all your eggs in one basket and it fails. And if it fails, the whole thing fails. Right? So you always need a lot more than you think you need. Now, I know you think I'm a bit of a mean, grumpy old git, because I'm not going to give any of you dinner. You're going to get dinner, don't worry about it. Just brighten up. You're going to get dinner. Not a problem, but you might not get breakfast. Tomorrow morning, first thing we're doing is a 5-minute fire with natural tinder. Alright, so you need tonight to practice, practice, practice with wood shavings, dry grass, anything you can find in the environment. But tomorrow morning, if you do not produce a fire with natural flint and steel and natural tinder, breakfast is off the menu. Alright, I will give you your evening meal, and I'll even give you a little bit of cotton wool, a little bit of fire card and stuff to get your fire going tonight. But you have to practice, practice, practice. And if that means you're up all night, you're up all night. You do not go to sleep until you are happy you can light a fire without flint and steel. That's the deal, alright?
What? Without flint and steel?
With just a flint and steel.
Oh, okay.
Natural tinder. Can you get the fire card out of there, please, mate? Should we pack it inside? Right. What we're going to do as soon as we get this fire card out, we'll give you all a piece of fire card. Probably that's that size of it. It is compressed cardboard impregnated with fuel and covered in wax. You take a little bit off, and I'll show you what to do. Take a little bit off, fluff it up. Flint and steel will get that going. You light your fire around that. So what I'm about to give you is effectively your cotton wool and your candle all in one. That is what you can use tonight to get your fire to cook your dinner. While that is cooking, you practice, 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 setting fire to anything that is natural with your flint and steel. Question?
Is it the same as the material you use to light matches? So you know when you light a match, like on the side of a box, there's I'm not too sure what the material is called. Sandpaper.
No.
Is that so?
No, nothing like that at all. Right, so that is the deal. As soon as I give you this fire card, you're up there. Individual shelters, so those of you who are in a big group shelter, quickly break them apart, make your individual shelters. If you are missing a bivvy bag or a shelter sheet, speak to Aaron or Thelma, call him what you want. He will give you that. Let's get your shelter sorted out as quickly as we can. You know what the knots are like, you've been refreshed, you've got a good idea what shelters look like because you've been looking at them for the last 2 days. Get that shelter sorted out. In half an hour, we'll give you your food. While that is on the go, practice, practice, practice. You've got 2 and a bit hours of daylight. Use that daylight wisely. Collect your firewood, collect your makings, collect your tinder, collect your kindling, collect everything you need, and enough to cook your dinner tonight and to light your fire in the morning for your 5-minute test and to cook your breakfast. How much firewood is that?
A lot.
A lot more than you think it is. Collect a lot of firewood. Any questions? Apart from why am I so grumpy? I was just born that way. Yes?
For me, it's really hard to find a comfortable place to actually make the spark, because it's really uncomfortable to put.
No one said life would be easy.
Okay.
Just be grateful it's not raining. You want dry weather and comfort. Life's not fair.
Whose fire lit first? Aaron's fire. Does anyone remember what Aaron's fire preparation looked like?
No.
It was right there. and he had everything from the tindling, the finest twigs that we went and looked at. Finest twigs, something a bit heavier, something a bit heavier, but they were all separated in separate piles. Whose fire lit first? Aaron. He had all the pieces he needed. It's no good having thick bits of wood. You want really, really thin bits, the thin, dry bits. We went up to the trees and we found where they were. You know where they are. People didn't have them.
Right. Smaller ones for those who've been successful, slightly bigger ones for the people who've been slightly less successful.
3 girls asked for no help. You really struggled, but you asked for no help. You really wanted to try and get it done on your own. Good for you.
That's just sexist, that is.
But you didn't prepare properly. So you didn't have all the bits. Now, girls, normally you've been preparing really well, and the boys have been really lame. Today, the boys were good. Girls, you let yourselves down. Got to get that preparation done.
Divvy that up then. So be, I think one more in there as well.
You get the smalls, please.
Mums,
Thank you.
work on it.
Thank you. Oh, she doesn't need to. She's got it.
There's nothing there, Emma.
It's me.
Right, let me show you how to use this stuff quickly. This stuff is absolutely brilliant. Right, you don't need anything near that size. The bit you're getting, you're being given, will do you loads of fires.
So can we keep keep it?
Listen.
A bit about the size of a postage stamp, a bit more. You know, rough up the edges, and if you just peel it apart a little bit of the edges, you'll see it goes a little bit like cotton wool. How successful was your fire? Did you need your cotton wool and your candle? I suggest you listen to what you're being told then. You get your notepad out and take notes if necessary. Yeah, I can do all this, I don't need to demonstrate it. I can do it. You're struggling, so listen. Right. By teasing it apart, what we do is we break open those fibres, a little bit like we did with the cotton wool. And because we get that nice fluffy edge around the side, that is what is going to give us the ability to take a spark. Pin it down with our flint and steel, strike our flint and steel into it. Once it starts to go as it is, turn it on its end because the heat wants to go up. And there we go. And that is going to burn for a reasonable period of time.
And be ready with the...
Be ready with everything. Everything should be laid out as I showed yesterday. Big piles laid out immediately to hand. It's no good telling me, oh, it's there in my shelter where there's just a big pile of wood. It needs to be broken down into piles so I know I have pile of that, pile of that, pile of that, pile of that. If you have not got everything laid out ready to go, there is no point in lighting that. Because all you're doing is converting that into ash. Point taken?
Where are you going?